Soundcast.
This is a Village Soundcast Network original production.
This is Less Than Live with Kate or Die, a bi-weekly podcast about comics from all angles. I'm going to talk to you about what I'm reading and doing, as well as interviewing some of my friends and favorite creators in the industry. So come along with me on this journey into geek culture. On today's episode, we make our triumphant comeback. I talk about HeroesCon, where I have just been, as well as comics I'm reading, like Deadly Class. Then we move into an interview with Grace Ellis and Brooke Allen, part of the creative team on the smash hit comic Lumberjanes. Welcome back to our very first second episode of Less Than Live. We are thrilled with the response from the first one. It's kind of, nobody expects it. It's a little bit freaky. We're very thrilled, but mostly we're happy that you're here hanging out. And I say we because, there's a whole production team. It's not just me and my iPod. These guys here at Village Sound are making me sound beautiful, and I thank them every day. The last time we talked with Ian McGinty, the artist on Bravest Warriors, and we didn't even know when our first issue was coming out, but it has come out. It's been and gone. Well, it's not gone. It's still out. You should still buy it. But it came out June 25th, and it is issue 21 of this series, although it is a very good jumping on point. If you have a basic knowledge of the TV show, or even if not, it's teens in space, and there's a cat that's part ladybug, and one of the teens is part mermaid. You can read it now. You're fine. It was based off of the cartoon Hangover web series that was created by Pendleton Ward, the creator of Adventure Time, and its second season on YouTube just wrapped up. Some crazy shit happened, and I'm not sure how it's going to affect the comic, but stay tuned and find out. Our next issue is number 22, and that is out on July 23rd. I just got to see it last night, and it is beautiful. Ian is ramping it up every issue with the art, and I'm excited. There's a lot of really fun stuff going on with it. There's secret codes. There's a lot of tension and feelings and space battles, and so yeah, everything that you would want. Hopefully, unless you are a hermit that lives in the woods and doesn't like that stuff, in which case, how'd you get a podcast? Freak. So yeah, the next issue on July 23rd, which is just after San Diego Comic-Con. I will not be attending this year, which is the saddest thing in the world, because Viz Media contacted me and asked if they could interview me for the Sailor Moon Blu-ray, but only if I was at San Diego Comic-Con. It's just, if you've ever felt your dreams being crushed, if that's my worst problem, really, life is not so bad. But if you were going to be there, or if you're the kind of person who watches and observes comic news, I got some stuff. There's some stuff coming out. There's going to be some things announced. So, I don't know. Check it out if you like comics. And the last time we recorded, I had just come back from the Toronto Comic Arts Festival, which, as I said, is one of my favorite shows. I got to go to a show just this past weekend in North Carolina called HeroesCon, and it was my first time there. I've had this con recommended to me by a lot of people who say, the quality of artists is just unsurpassed, and that the environment is really great. It's the con where you go to the parties and you see everybody that you want to see. So I'd been told this, and I was really nervous because, when I'm in indie cons and at these smaller press shows, I feel like I know a lot more people. But at bigger shows, it's a little intimidating to walk around and go, oh yeah, okay, there's, everyone who works on Batman. And it's not quite as small an environment, but the rumors were true. Heroes is one of the best shows that I've been to. The organizers are incredible and were super kind. Started off on an awesome note when I found out I was on the same flight as Chip Zdarsky, the artist of Sex Criminals and Renowned Gentlemen. So we came in together along with Tom Fowler and a couple other Canadians. We started hanging out that day, and I got to see Matt Fraction, the writer on Sex Criminals, and his wife, Kelly Sue DeConnick, who's one of my favorite writers. So it kind of kicked off on a really, really awesome note. They've been super supportive to me. Kelly Sue is an honorary member of the Valkyries, which is the society I run for women who work in comic shops. And on the Saturday morning of the convention, she ran a breakfast for about 7 of us, women in retail. And it was really great. You know, we went to a little French bakery and we talked about destroying the patriarchy, and that was, was about as good as it gets. I was completely floored by the quality of artists at Heroes and had to kind of stop myself from freaking out over a lot of people. There was a table, or a series of tables, a row, I guess, would be the technical term, of, I don't know, the kings and queen of watercolor in comics, I would say. Babs Tarr, who you might know from her biker gang version of the Sailor Scouts, which is kind of all over Tumblr a lot of the time. And she's just an incredible artist and, you know, draws magical girls and warrior princesses, which is my jam all the time. She was tabled with Chris Anka and Jake Wyatt, who are both absolutely incredible artists. And Jake Wyatt gave me a really, really sweet print of Jay-Z in a Chrono Trigger outfit, which is sitting happily on my wall now. And they were tabled with someone who is, I mean, I don't want to pick favorites, but Kevin Wada, goddamn. He is one of the best artists in comics. I mean, he's been doing illustration and illustrative work for a while, and his watercolor high fashion reinterpretations of the X-Men, which is a really fun sentence to say, they're some of the best things that I've seen. Now, you probably know him if you're reading superhero comics as the cover artist on She-Hulk right now. And those covers are insane. I bought one of them while I was there. Not the original, because I'm not a millionaire, but one of his prints. And, it was really cool. He's an amazing person. I got a commission of Marceline from Adventure Time from him, because this is about the only thing I bought for myself all weekend, other than his... Okay, so everything I bought for myself was from Kevin Wada, and I'm not sorry. It was great. I was tabled with a crew of people I know from just outside of Boston. Ming Doyle was right next to me. She's the artist on Mara, which was written by Brian Wood. Ming was next to Maris Wicks, who is she's an illustrator. She's worked on Adventure Time and Bravest Warriors, but she's also got a really great book called Primates, which she gave me a copy of, which was awesome. And next to her was Joe Quinones, who just came out with a book called Blood Spell, which is written by Paul Dini, and it is a really fun, self-contained Black Canary and Zatanna story. And they're not New 52. It's very reminiscent of, the kind of Batman stuff that I grew up with in the animated series. It really has that feel, which I guess you could attribute to Paul Dini a little bit, but Joe's art works so well. He just draws women in such a fun way. It never feels cheesecake even when they're sexy, and he can make them brash and aggressive and kind of silly, and it's nice to see that variation where not everybody looks a little bit like a blow-up doll. So Joe's one of my favorite people, and it was really exciting to be tabled with him. This is basically just a long list of people I bought things from at Heroes. One of them was Phil Noto, who you have probably seen his art. He is the interior and cover artist on Black Widow right now and doing an amazing job. He's been doing covers for a long time, and it's really fun to see him doing interiors. I got a print from him. I saw Andy Belanger. I saw Mike Cho. I spilled some coffee on Francesco Francavilla's sketchbook, which I'm never going to live down. And then later in the night, I crashed a wedding with my new best friend, Chris Haley, who is the other artist on Comics Alliance. He does Comics Everybody and did a comic called Let's Be Friends Again. And we met as we bonded over my Metaluna Mutant tattoo from Mystery Science Theater, because we are the world's biggest nerds, and hung out pretty much for the entire weekend. And now we really want to make comics together, because that's how this stuff happens. It's just magic. And that was Heroes. It's kind of a long list of name dropping, but man, what a show. I came back from it super invigorated and just wanting to make new things, and found a bunch of people that I want to work with. So I'm really thankful to that show for making me feel so great. All right, on to the second portion of our exciting program, stuff that I'm reading. I have been picking up a lot of single issues lately, even though I'm now only working one day a week at my comic shop, which is kind of a crazy transition, because that's how I got into this wild and wily industry. I have been really, really loving a lot of stuff coming out from Image, but one of my favorites right now is Deadly Class. It's 5 issues in right now, and if I'm remembering correctly, and it's written by Rick Remender and drawn by Wes Craig. And the art in this book, I tell you, is just like insane. There's a 2-issue story pretty much that takes place inside of an acid trip, and it's kind of the most fun I've had reading an issue of a comic in a really long time. So if you like art like Paul Pope and Becky Cloonan, a little bit of that brush style, but a little finer, there's a lot of detail in each page, tons of panels. And there's a lot going on. There's a lot to look at. And it takes a while to get through an issue. And I like that. I like when something's kind of meaty and it takes you more than 5 minutes to really absorb it. I felt that way when J.H. Williams was drawing Batwoman. It takes me 45 minutes to get through an issue. And you feel like it's worth the money. And that's really, really great. I also had a really good time with the second issue of Bee and Puppy Cat, and I talked about that on the last episode, and I'm still talking about it because it is just charming. The second issue has to do with Bee, who is a temp worker along with her magical puppy cat, going to some kind of alternative dimension and having to find which of a number of music boxes is broken. And in each page, when, she's going through the different music boxes, it's got this really beautiful little illustration and a QR code on it. And I'm not normally the biggest fan of QR codes because, I'm a person with sanity, but this was such a genius and adorable use of them. So, I had to download a reader for my phone, but it took all of 3 seconds. And you scan the QR code, and then it takes you to a little YouTube video where it has the same picture from the comic, and then it plays a little music box song. And I just thought that was so cute. It's just so interactive and different, And so I got to kind of sit there with my comic and my phone playing the little songs, and it was really sweet. I like that. I like when a comic kind of comes off the page and interacts with you that way. So that was really fun. There's a new issue of Saga this week, which is always either completely beautiful or life-destroying, and usually both. The last one, and the issue before this one, issue 19, if you're reading it, the last page was pretty destructive. And this one was as well. It continues to always be shocking. It continues to have some of the best first and last pages of any comic, and I really notice them now. You always look for what batshit crazy thing the issue is going to open with. So yeah, it's just so good. They talk in the back matter of the issue about doing 25 variant covers for the 25th issue. And while I'm not really sure how I feel about it, I'm really interested to see what artists they would get on that because everyone loves this series. And I think everybody would bring their A game. So if it does happen, it's going to be beautiful. The 7th issue of Rat Queens comes out on July 9th. And while I didn't talk about this book last time, I have got to talk about it now. It is so much fun. The first volume of it is out now from Image, and it's $10. This series is by Curtis Weeb and Rock Upchurch, and it is D&D badass ladies. It's an all-female cast, pretty much. There's a lot of male secondary characters, but the main cast is female. It's very diverse in terms of orientation, ethnicity, sexuality, life experiences. It's a bunch of girls in a World of Warcraft-esque type village, causing havoc and getting drunk and doing drugs. And it's just wonderful. It's just this complete celebration of not following the rules. And I'm totally charmed by it. It was something I came around to really late and was recommended to me by a lot of the girls in the Valkyries. And yeah, I just can't wait. There's talk about Weta Workshop working this into an animated series. And I said it on Twitter, and I'll say it again. I would kill to play Hannah. Adventure Time 29 just came out, and Jim Rugg has been doing the art on this one. And he's a guy I've really liked his art for a long time, and a lot of friends are big fans. He's got a book I actually just borrowed called Street Angel, which is about a 12-year-old girl, kind of a homeless kid just causing shit and starting fights. And I've got it sitting on my bed, and I'm just about to read it, so I'm looking forward to that. But he did a really great job with this last arc, and it was super fun to see someone else doing it because Shelley Pearline and Braden Lamb have been the artists on that series pretty much for the whole run, and they do an incredible job. It looks so much like the show, and it's so on model. And Jim Ruggs is like just a tiny bit rougher, and I kind of like it. It has a little bit of a different character. So that's been really fun, and I think the next issue should be a one-shot. That's sort of how the series works, and yeah, like, I don't know, if you're not reading the Adventure Time comics, if you're just a fan of the show, or if you're not of either, I mean, Ryan North, who's writing them, writes dinosaur comics, and he writes The Midas Flesh, and he wrote a Choose Your Own Adventure version of Hamlet. Like, he's incredible. He's an incredible person, and these comics are so much fun. You can start pretty much with any... I mean, it goes 4 issues to an arc, and then there's a one-shot. So you can start from issue 1, you can start from issue 6, you can start from issue 11, I guess, and so you're not ever going to be too far behind. And I really like that. Last episode, I talked about This One Summer by Mariko and Jillian Tamaki, and how excited I was to check it out, and oh my god, it did not disappoint. That is one of the best graphic novels I have read in years. I had, really touched on that idea of it speaking to a strange kind of childhood nostalgia, and it really does. It's like these moments in childhood that you just completely forget because it's overwhelmed by the trip you took to Disney, or that crazy fight your parents got in, or, the boy that you liked on that field trip. It's the dimmer stars in the sky, it's looking out the window on that 9-hour bus trip to grandma's, and it's that day you sat on the beach for 3 hours and did nothing other than build something out of a pile of rocks. It's these little quiet moments that you forget, and it kind of creeps in around the edges as you read it. And that atmospheric aspect to it is something that I loved. So definitely check that out. I think it's a perfect book for a drizzly summer afternoon. I talk a lot about Lumberjanes, both in the podcast, on my Tumblr, on Twitter, when I'm in panels. And, it's a bit self-serving because I am involved with the series. I design the badges that the Lumberjanes earn as they go about their adventures. But it is just a ton of fun. Now, we're going to have Grace Ellis and Brooke Allen on the show in just a little bit. Brooke Allen is the series artist, and Grace is one of the writers. And they're both really good friends of mine. They're awesome, awesome people and inspired my dramatic haircut. So, they're in my good books forever. Boombox is the publisher putting out Lumberjanes as well as The Midas Flesh, and they've just announced their next project, which is Teen Dog. Jake Lawrence, an amazing Australian guy. I mentioned that he's Australian simply because it's a very distinctive feature of a person that they're from Australia. Jake is a friend. He's an awesome dude. And the series is being touted as, what if high school was good? And I like that. It's all we really know about it is a teen dog and his friend, and they skateboard, and I would imagine they're probably going to fight crime at some point. Like, that seems like what you would do if you were a teen dog with a skateboard. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's just kind of dripping Technicolor, fun, summery stuff. And I'm really looking forward to that. And it's fun seeing all these projects coming out of Boombox right now because it's a lot of people that I know and love, and I get to see covers by a lot of my awesome friends. So that's really cool. The one other book that I'm really looking forward to this summer is Through the Woods. I talked about Emily Carroll last time, and I'll talk about Emily Carroll for the rest of my life, probably. She is an artist of horror comics. She does sweeter things sometimes, but the stuff I really love is the stuff with teeth. And she's got a book collection of a lot of her webcomics and shorter stories and longer stories. On July 15th, that's going to be coming out, and I cannot wait for this. It's a big, lush hardcover, and it is about time. I can't get enough of her stuff. I am constantly recommending it to people because it has such a different flavor. I mean, you see a lot of adventure stories, you see a lot of magical girl stories, you see a lot of autobiographical comics, but that pure creeping horror is not something a lot of people approach, within the indie comics community anyway, and her stuff is just the best. So I really hope that we're going to be talking to her at some point, if I can woo her away from her work. And so look for that in a little over a month, or a little less than a month, in about a month. I don't know. Get a calendar.
She's so sweet. Can't let this go to answer your tweets.
And now for some questions from Twitter. The first one I get is, if you could write for any existing property, what would it be? And I answer this most of the time with the same thing, which is Clone High. Ian and I talked about it, and if you're a fan of Clone High and you read Bravest Warriors, you will discover that Clone High is almost a main character in Bravest Warriors. The references are myriad and unapologetic. I'm a huge fan. I love that cartoon, and adapting it would be kind of a dream. You know, there's a lot of other shows and cartoons and things that I really like. I mean, I'd work on anything Sailor Moon related, and I would love to write an Archie story. I mean, I grew up on Archie. I have thousands of hours worth of, like, opinions about Archie and his polygamy and just the model for relationships that exists in that universe that is just so... I don't even know if it's anachronistic. It's just kind of... It's almost sci-fi that, like, a not very attractive redheaded dude gets away with dating two girls that are best friends. I mean, you assume he's sleeping with both of them because they're like 17 or 18. They're definitely at least going to Lover's Lane, and there's some heavy petting going on. So, like, he's sleeping or making out or groping with these two girls who are best friends, who know about each other, but hate each other when they're fighting over Archie. Archie is also dating, like, 17 other girls, and everybody seems to be kind of okay with it. Like, this model just would not exist in high school. I mean, in high school's more insane now even than when I was in it, and especially with social media and everyone being aware of what everybody's doing at all times. Like, you can't even favorite somebody's tweet if they've got a boyfriend in high school. So just the fact that some dude is like, oh yeah, I, am a moderately attractive 17-year-old boy, and yeah, I've got like 17 girlfriends. It's cool. They all know about it. Anyway, I got off track. But, so clearly I'm invested. I would love to write for Archie. And they seem to be getting a little wilder and a little crazier with their plot lines and what the company will allow. I mean, Afterlife with Archie is insane. The Sabrina series that's been solicited for October looks nuts. And, yeah, that's kind of the dream. At Max Soda asks me, Kate, that's me. You mentioned you grew up a fan of Buffy, as did I. Who's your favorite character and what's your favorite episode? That changes, because when I was growing up, Willow was my girl. She was the nerd, and she was socially awkward, and she was kind of gay, and then super gay. So I identified pretty hard. I mean, I came out kind of when Willow did, and that was, it was a big deal for me. But over the years, I've really come around to Buffy as kind of a main character. Growing up, she was the blonde main character, so I couldn't really identify. I mean, I was a kid and I was blonde, but I didn't want to be blonde, and I wanted to be the weirdo. And, the older I have gotten and the more dozens of times I've rewatched the entire TV series, the more I've really come around to Buffy. She has an incredible amount of struggles, and she is such a multifaceted character. And for the protagonist of a TV show, and especially, a sci-fi, fantasy, horror TV show, because Buffy was everything, a lot of different genres at once. For that, to have a main character who is so many things. I mean, she's vulnerable and she's aggressive and she makes all kinds of mistakes and she screws up, but she, really tries her best, but she can also be really flaky and she gets what she wants kind of sexually. She goes for it and she's very in charge of herself. She has her own agenda, and you just don't see that often. And I don't think I quite understood growing up how much of an effect that it had on me. So Buffy, I guess. Buffy's, my favorite character now that I have sort of grown to appreciate her. My favorite episode is also the episode I'm the most scared of, which is Hush, which is the episode with the gentleman. And if anybody's ever seen it knows it's the scariest episode of the show. It's about a group of these floating skeleton-headed monsters in suits who turn the entire town silent. The whole episode is silent, and it's brilliantly done. So one of the things I loved about the show is that it did these crazy things, like the musical episode, and it would take these risks. 40 minutes of television where basically only 5 minutes have any kind of dialogue is pretty crazy, and it was so well done and so terrifying. And I watched Buffy when I was pretty young, and I was definitely too young for that episode, and I did not sleep for 3 days. And I've grown to really respect it just for being so well done. So yeah, that's probably my favorite. Other than that, there is a season finale, season 2, Becoming episodes 1 and 2, which is when Buffy sends Angel to hell. Sorry if you didn't know that. You're like 10 years too late, and it's your fault for missing out on the greatest show of all time. And that was it was really important to me, and it's something that I've talked about on comics panels before, just very specifically this moment where Buffy is cornered and she's about to be stabbed, Angel's evil, everything's going wrong, and he kind of does this whole speech about how she has no weapons and she has no friends, and it's like, what do you have left? And he goes to stab her, she grabs the sword, and she's just like, me, and pushes it back at him, and I get chills. Thinking about it, and it was just this moment of this tiny blonde woman, a teenage character, although Sarah Michelle Gellar was like 30 or something, and I believed that she was a teenager at the time, just took charge so aggressively and saved everybody, and that was a big deal. So yeah, those 2 moments in that show cannot overstate the impact that Buffy's had on me. All right, since I'm rambling unnecessarily on these Twitter questions, we got one more, which is from @TheNoirGuy, who asks me, if you could turn any video game into a comic that you would draw or write, what would it be? Which is kind of tough because I've played like 4 video games. I grew up without consoles in a house that most of the time did not have cable TV. My parents were big museum people and book people and Scrabble people, if that tells you really anything. Listening to So, I didn't play a lot of video games. I never had a Nintendo. I never, had a PlayStation. I would play it when I went to my friends' houses, or usually my boyfriend's houses. Sorry to be stereotypical, but that was the case. It's the first time I ever touched a GameCube. So my favorite video game is BioShock, and I have played all 3 of them like 3 times. I don't know why. Something just hooked for me. I had a roommate that had a copy of the first one just before the second one was coming out, and despite my protestations of I have no idea how to play video games, what's an inverted y-axis, I don't even know how to do anything ever, and I got so into it because it's crazy, mystery puzzle game, and it's got a really crazy reveal at the end of it, and the graphics are beautiful, and it's scary in a really interesting way, but not like Dead Space, which is too scary. I can't do that. So, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I would write for that just because it's the thing I'm the most familiar with, except I would make the female character from BioShock Infinite the main character, and she would be way tougher because I'm super predictable. And so I don't know. I would give her a lot more agency. But that's probably it. BioShock forever. And I wish I knew more, but I play like Candy Crush, and there's no comic for Candy Crush other than like I've been stuck on fucking level 86 for like 3 months. That's not a comic. It's just me living in a permanent hell, and it's horrible. Anyway, that is the end of Twitter questions. We're gonna take a break for just a minute and help me pay for my boat.
Strange Adventures Comics and Curiosities has the widest and wisest selection of comics and graphic novels in Atlantic Canada. Toys, games, and collectibles of all kinds at this award-breaking store. With 3 locations to confuse you better, in Fredericton, Dartmouth, and Halifax. Neat, right? Check out the website at strangeadventures.com. Strange Adventures, proud sponsor of Less Than Live with Kate or Die.
Kate's gonna interview you. Kate's gonna interview you now. She's gonna ask you questions. Kate's gonna interview you. Kate's gonna interview you now. This is the interview section.
All right, so today we are talking to 2 of the creators of Lumberjanes, which is like a massive successful hit from Boombox, which is a division of Boom Studios. I never stop talking about it, so you know what it is. We've got Brooke Allen here, who is the artist on Lumberjanes. Hey, Brooke.
Hey.
Hey. We also have formerly intern Grace, now just Grace of Autostraddle, who is also the co-writer on Lumberjanes with Noelle Stevenson. What's up, Grace?
What's up?
Hey, guys.
How's it going?
Hi.
Hi. So I'm really excited to talk to you guys because, it's a pretty big creative team on Lumberjanes, and it's really neat to get to hear from you. How is it going right now?
I think it's going really well. Brooke, how do you think it's going?
I also think it's going really well. I'm actually working on it right now.
As we talk?
Yeah.
I believe that.
What you drawing? Can you tell me?
I don't know. Can I talk about it?
You can talk about it in vague terms.
No, I think you totally should.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at this very moment, I'm drawing a velociraptor. So there's that.
It's a really serious book. So
If you had asked me to list like 40 things that I would have expected you to be drawing, Velociraptor might have made the list, to be fair.
Yeah.
But it's pretty...
I should have made you guess. Next time.
Next time. Okay, but I'm going to get... next time it's not going to be a dinosaur.
Well,
might be.
I don't know.
Are there a lot of dinosaurs coming in Lumberjanes?
Well, Grace is writing it.
Right. Oh, Grace. Question for intern Grace. Now just Grace. Are there more dinosaurs in Lumberjanes?
I don't think I'm allowed to talk about it. Well, there are some dinosaurs, but I can't. I don't want to go into too much detail.
Mm-hmm. Good. No, it's been really great. I know that I know you guys, and we talked about this a lot at Emerald City, and then Brooke, when we were at Calgary together. But this is kind of a really big deal for both you guys. I mean, a really big first kind of project. I mean, I know, Brooke, you've done a lot of other illustration, you've done tons of comic stuff, but I mean, in terms of a major publication, like this thing's sort of blown up a lot.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because I mean, we were sitting next together at Emerald City Comic Con, and you guys were definitely like, it was nuts. You guys were like the star of the show.
No.
No, I mean, just because I just want to talk about it a little bit, because I mean, I've been to a lot of conventions, just either with Strange Adventures or on my own stuff, and like, what is it like the first time? I mean, how many shows have you guys been to since Lumberjanes has come out?
That's the only con I've been to since it came out. I've done a couple signings here and there, but everything I've been to has been so overwhelming. I mean, Emerald City was my first con ever. Like, I'd never even like gone to a con as just like a human. So it was like, I don't know. This is embarrassing because I'm like a writer on this project, but I can't even really put it into words, how overwhelming that was. But it was like fantastic, and everyone was so great, and it was just, I've never been so excited for such an extended period of time. It was just like hitting peaks the entire weekend.
Yeah, that can get a little exhausting.
No, it was great. It was. I would do 1,000 cons, maybe not back to back, but it was.
Emerald City
awesome.
was a pretty big treat. Like, that is a really good convention.
Yeah,
That was amazing.
It was really exciting. And Brooke, you were with me at Calgary, and you've been doing shows with Boom. Like, have you done any other ones?
I did Awesome Con, the one here in DC. So like that, I didn't have to travel far for that. Just walk down the street. But that's it though. Calgary was the last one that I went to.
And that in Emerald City.
Yeah, and Emerald City as well. But yeah, every single one's been really fun and amazing, and cosplayers at every single one, which I think is kind of crazy.
That was the thing that drove me, like, the fact that we sat down at the table on like Friday morning at Emerald City before anything was open, and there were Lumberjanes cosplayers at your table.
Yeah, it's like, did y'all? How? You haven't even read the comic yet.
Like, it didn't even exist yet. I mean, when I was at HeroesCon over the weekend, there were Wicked and the Divine cosplayers, which I thought was crazy because the comic's only been out
that's so nuts.
for 4 days.
Amazing.
But Lumberjanes literally didn't exist yet. So that was pretty
it's
wild.
the internet. I don't know.
That's pretty cool. It's just neat to see it happen. So, I mean, you know, Brooke, I know you've been working on it pretty much 24 hours a day, but
a lot.
a lot. A lot. But yeah, are you guys doing any other shows with it, or have any plans to do like signing type things in the future?
I'm going to San Diego. Brooke, are you going?
No, I gotta stay home and draw it.
Oh. I'm going to San Diego. Brooke
Nice.
is doing important things.
So your second ever Comic-Con is going to be San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
I am a little terrified. Mostly excited, though.
So I'm only going to say their full names for the purpose of the podcast, but your friends and mine, Shannon Waters and Noelle Stevenson, you might be familiar. Are they going to be at San Diego too?
I believe so. I don't think Noelle is staying the whole time,
Okay.
but yeah, there will be a period of time where she's there, certainly.
That's pretty awesome. Okay, so just to kick off questions that are fun to answer. I'm a great interviewer. What have been some of your favorite, I mean, I know the cosplay is really exciting, but what have been some of your favorite kind of fan interactions that you've had so far? Let's start with Brooke, if you want.
Well, we've got a lot of fan art. Like, someone will pick up the comic, like at a signing or at one of those conventions. I know one in particular, like the one that you came to, Grace, here in DC.
Yeah.
Like, someone like pick up a comic and then they left and then came back like an hour later and they were like, "Here, I drew you this fan art right now," which was really good. But like that's happened several times, so those are always really cool.
That's so awesome.
So I have little treasures.
That's really good. And you keep them?
Yeah.
I keep all my fan art from kids. It's very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Grace?
My favorite happened literally this afternoon. I went to Laughing Ogre, which is like right up the street from me. And I was going to pick up Bravest Warriors, the one that Kate wrote.
Oh, yeah.
Which it's so good.
Congratulations.
Oh my God, so good. Like
I do it right.
really good job.
Thanks.
So I went to go pick up that, and I picked up Ms. Marvel too.
Good.
I know I haven't read any of it yet, and everyone keeps being like, "You should read it." So
man,
I
no,
think
you
the
would
first
like
issue
it.
is so
I think
good.
a lot.
Yeah, I really liked it a lot. But anyway, so I went to Laughing Ogre with one of my friends, thankfully, so she can corroborate on this story. We were just like wandering around, and we heard this like tiny voice like come bouncing in the door. She was like, "I hope they have the Lumberjanes," and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And it was this little girl, and she was there to get Lumberjanes, and I just like lost it. I was crying. It was so much. Oh my God. And I was like so overwhelmed I didn't even know what to do, so we just left.
Oh my God!
I know.
Why
I
didn't
know.
you sign it for her?
I
She would have lost her mind.
You didn't.
I didn't know what to do, because how do you like I don't know. I didn't know what to do, so I left because I was like also weeping. So like
I understand
know.
that fear because you're holding a child's dreams in your hand.
I know.
You're like, if I do the wrong thing.
I didn't want to be like creepy, and I didn't want to be like a jerk and like this is my book.
Like,
so
hey.
Yeah, that really emanates off you in waves. A creepy jerk.
Right. That's me.
No, that's really crazy.
Yeah, it was so bizarre and so great. I really regret not like signing and buying her book for her. Like,
well, I mean, is that your local shop?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
what you should
do if
as
they're
a
listening,
as a retailer, can I merely suggest that like go in and just be like, "Hey, I write Lumberjanes," and just like, I mean, ask to sign a couple copies, because I've done that before and people are generally pretty cool about it, unless the guy's a jerk and is like, "That comic is for idiots," in which case burn the store down. I will.
No. I mean, they seemed
have your
okay.
back.
I really liked them. They were nice, and
Yeah.
we coincidentally they only have a couple other stores, and one of them was the one that Brooke and I signed at when I was in DC.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So they know
Yeah.
you. So just go ahead and
Yeah.
sign some and like leave them. Kids will be stoked.
Okay.
Just write stuff on it, like believe in your dreams.
You're so wise.
Yeah.
I worked in retail for a long time.
No.
We did sign like a big batch, but we had so many to sign that like the sketches I was doing on them were just like circles or triangles or something.
You didn't have time to draw a sheep on everyone.
I mean, I got pretty far.
You drew a lot of sheep.
Yeah. Well, because, I love sheep.
Well, and your initials are Ba. It's so
Yeah.
perfect. It like the first time I realized that at Emerald City was a moment of being so purely charmed. Like, oh my god, because it's a sheep.
I'm blessed.
That was really good. No, I mean, I ask about it because, like, I'm just, working the 1 day a week at my shop right now. But even then, like, I get people coming in and asking about Lumberjanes, and all I've got is I'm like, oh yeah, I drew the buttons on it. But people are
The badges
stoked.
are really cool.
Yeah,
They're pretty
awesome.
great.
Right.
I mean, let's be
Yeah.
real, they're pretty great. But and someone come up to me, they're like, "Oh, you draw Lumberjanes." I was like, "No, I designed the badges." And just
You
this
should
moment
say
of like,
yes.
"Oh, okay." I was like,
People
"But
do
I'll
that
sign
to
the back."
me too. Like, you draw Lumberjanes? No, I'm not nearly interesting enough for
See,
that.
like the
I'm
opposite
sorry.
happens to me. They're like, "You write Lumberjanes?" So like, what's going on?
Or they think you're Noelle.
They
Yes.
always think I'm Noelle.
Bummer.
They think I'm Noelle. It happens to everybody. We literally all have the same haircut.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's
So, I mean, Noelle is distinctive in that her hair is red, but
Right.
and I got the haircut because of you guys, and I feel like really
Aw.
weird, but I felt so out of place at Emerald City with my.
No, it looks so good on you.
Yeah.
It's very freeing.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
you feel really good about it?
I like having a lumber cut.
Yeah.
Have you had people contact you about that? Has anyone been like, "Yo, I shaved half my head because of Lumberjanes"?
Not yet.
It's
We'll
gonna
see.
happen.
I'm waiting.
It's definitely gonna happen.
We need a really dedicated cosplayer, I think.
Yeah,
Or just like
Yeah.
a really cool person.
I think you're gonna get it at San Diego.
I think so too.
I think you're gonna get a lot of cosplayers at San Diego. Right?
They have to take pictures with us. That's the law.
Well, I saw a group of people dressed as Bravest Warriors at HeroesCon, and literally every time I saw them, they were like 40 feet away, and I couldn't get to them. Or like somebody would stop me, or they'd go into a panel. I saw them like 3 times. I was so mad.
I'm sorry.
It was a bummer. But,
Who was Catbug?
What?
Was there one that was Catbug?
I saw a Catbug. There was a group, I think, and it was Chris, Danny, Beth, and Catbug. They couldn't find a Wallow.
Oh, that's too bad because
I know.
they could have had Wallow like carrying whoever was being Catbug.
I just really want to see Plum cosplays. It's like really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's my
Plum
number one dream.
rules.
If you see any at San Diego, you are obligated to bring them to me,
Yeah.
like in a
I'll
suitcase.
put them in my suitcase. Bring them back and then send them to you.
One thing I did want to ask about in a public space rather than just grilling you privately is so we've had a lot of male fans of Lumberjanes in our shop, like kids, little boys, and that is super exciting to me. And Noelle and I talked about this at the panel at TCAF, just about it was writing for a female audience, and then kind of what do you do when a comic you've written for a female audience finds a male audience and it's not creepy like Bronies, where it's actually just enthusiastic 10-year-old boys. And I had a really great interaction with a little boy in the comic shop maybe 2 weeks ago picking up Lumberjanes, who was totally unabashed about just really loving the comic and being like, yeah, it's super great. These adventures are so cool and they're all best friends and like it's so much fun and I love that there's like puzzles and stuff in it. And he was totally into it, and just nowhere in it was like, and it's girls. Like, he just didn't care. And he was like, this is just a really fun story. So that's really
awesome.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Like, have you guys seen any of that or dealt with that at all? No?
No, I was just waiting to see if Grace would
I was
talk
waiting
first.
to see if you wanted to.
You guys are too cute. You gotta fight. It's airtime.
No, so quiet. No, I don't know. I just at like the signings and at the conventions, I've had like a lot of guys come up and pick up the comic. A lot of times people will be like, "I'm getting this for my sister."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah,
you don't
a
have
lot
to say
of-
that.
but
Like,
yeah, but it's only like it's never like the little boys who say that.
Oh,
It's
no.
always like the older
Older
guys who are like,
guys.
"This is for my sister." I'm like, "That's great, but it could also be for you. Like, you
Yeah.
don't have to like hedge yourself buying this. Like, just buy it and read it."
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, obviously the target demographic for this is like young girls, but I think that like the way that we're writing it is intentionally pretty inclusive of everyone. I mean, it's all ages. It's not a children's book.
Yeah. It's a because we just sort of talked about that and cross-identifying and that idea that you guys as ladies are probably very familiar with the fact that like when you're a kid there are so many more options for stories that are male-led, Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and all that stuff. Like, you have to find male characters to identify with because you're just, like, not represented. And that's not a thing that guys really ever have to deal with. And I've seen that in fans of Lumberjanes being like, it's so weird. They're all girls.
Right.
But it's also kind of great that it's kind of forcing people to do that and that they seem to be getting really into it.
Hold on one second.
Okay.
I'm Brooke. Do you have more
Sorry.
to do?
You broke?
Broke?
You
Aw.
broke? Oh.
No, it's me,
Aw.
Brooke, not broke.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It's like the same thing.
Yeah.
So
No,
yeah, I don't like how does that, I mean, is that exciting for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest for a second. I was a little worried when we were starting that we were going to kind of get the brony effect, where it was going to kind of get co-opted and like polluted is maybe a strong word, maybe not the right word for it, but I think in general, at least with My Little Pony, I think the bronies kind of own that show now in a lot of ways. And the books. But I think that, man, I'm like not being very articulate on this right now.
It's okay.
I think we're not having that problem, at least not in any way that I've seen. I
don't think it's dominated at all. Like, I don't think it's been.
I think it's been really respectful.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really excited that guys are reading it because I think that there are a lot of, in the same way that there are a lot of themes in My Little Pony that are universal, I think that there are a lot in Lumberjanes that are universal as well.
I think so too, and I think it's really cool to show that. And you know, it's the thing that I'm always selling to people at shows or at the shop is, you know, the fact that it is this all-female creative team. And, you know, some people who are listening or who have even read Lumberjanes might not know that. Like, you guys and Shannon and Noelle are like an all-female creative team, but it's everybody on the book. Like, the letterers and the inkers and the editors and all of the
covers.
Every one of the variant covers, yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys you're the only book doing that.
It was a really intentional choice. When, like, in the very beginning, when Shannon and I were talking about who we were going to get to do the covers specifically, I was like, we have to do all women. Just because, I mean, it's like, it is kind of making a statement. Because no one else is doing it, and because it's important for women to be telling their own stories in the same way that it's important for, you know, like gay people to be telling their own stories, and people of color and disabled people. And I think that's something that that's a goal that I have with Lumberjanes, is that this isn't the end point. I mean, yeah, we're all women working on the book, but we're also predominantly like white women. I would like to get more like some trans women working on the book, and more women of color, and a little bit more intersectionality on the book. Like, that's my goal with it, because I think that it's a lot of the times when we talk about like how comics are really segregated between men and women, and like male creators and female creators. A lot of the times the things that get left out it's like the intersectionality of the whole thing, because as much as women in general are breaking through in comics, a lot of the times it's just white women. So I think I'm kind of wandering now with regard to where this question started. But
no, I get what you're saying, and it's important stuff.
Yeah, I'm really interested in getting more voices out there, so that when they're done working on Lumberjanes, they have more opportunities to tell their stories, you know?
Well, and I think that's really cool too. I mean, especially with Boombox, you know, they found me, and they found, you know, well, Shannon found you because you guys went to the lesbian camp in the woods together, but
I mean, whatever it takes, it's fine.
I just have to say that, like, I can't, you know, Lumberjanes was
to be fair, that we were friends on Tumblr before lesbian camp in the woods, so
I just really want to go to lesbian camp in the woods. Maybe I'm just jealous.
You should come.
I'm super jealous.
You guys should come with us.
I really want to go. You guys have to do one on the East Coast. It's so far.
Hey, it's not up to me.
LA
it's not
is
up
so
to me.
Far.
I know.
If you don't know what we're talking about, because like 99% of the population will not know what we're talking about, Grace works for Autostraddle, which is a lesbian news website, and it's a bunch of stuff, but primarily.
Yeah. The tagline is "Girl on Girl Culture." So
Exactly.
take that however you want. But it's annual now. We do a camp in the mountains, like 2 hours outside of LA, and we do like panels and discussions. This time we did a panel on Lumberjanes with it was me and Shannon.
Did you guys get hugged by everyone?
Yes, we did.
I love that. I want to tell that to like every alternative young teenage girl who's been buying Lumberjanes, because there have been a lot. It's like, listen, I don't know if you know, but this is run by a bunch of lesbians in the woods. So the things you're seeing in here that you want to identify with, they're there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Fewer bears in the woods at lesbian camp, more making out in the woods at lesbian camp.
Are there bears there? Like,
Yes.
just like there are though? Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, no, there really are.
Did you see one?
I haven't seen one, but every time I've gone to camp, someone has seen a bear.
Oh, okay.
Just after the like vegan marshmallows in the trash and stuff. That's what they really want.
So they're not out for lesbian blood. They're just out
No.
for marshmallows.
Right. They're like friendly bears.
But I thought they could smell menstrual blood.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I lost it.
We'll just make it about periods, Kate.
Always
Classic
circling
Kate.
back around to periods.
Lumberjanes, also periods.
Lumberjanes is a giant period metaphor.
What?
That's canon, so
Wow. Okay.
yeah.
Off topic, but not really off topic. Have either of you seen that ad that was like viral about the girl who fakes getting her first period?
Yes.
And her mom throws her first moon party.
Yes, it's perfect. Oh
Have
my
you seen
God.
this, Brooke? No? Oh, maybe she vanished. Brooke, did you leave forever? Brooke? Uh-oh.
Oh my God.
What happened?
I don't know.
We were getting onto something there. Where did she go?
I have no idea. Oh, Brooke.
Brooke? That's like, and then they were eaten by bears. Where is she?
I don't know.
She just
Brooke,
texted
come
me.
back.
What happened? Okay.
Hello?
Brooke, are you there? What happened? Are you okay?
Yeah, I just went to go see this ad, but
Oh. Yeah.
I don't know what happened. It just cut out. That was
Okay.
weird.
We can pick it up again. You're both here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Don't leave to watch an ad again.
I didn't really. That was a joke, but
Oh,
Okay.
I was like in the middle of saying I'm gonna go watch it, and then it cut out. But I could hear you guys for a while, and you guys were like, "Where's Brooke?" And I was like, "I'm here."
Aw.
Oh my God, can you hear me?
Yes. You're doing great.
Thank you, Grace. You're doing better. I really just like to listen to what you have to say.
Oh no, I want you to talk all the time though, Brooke.
No, but I don't
'Cause
want to.
I think you have a really good brain, and I think everyone should hear what's inside of it.
Oh no, I don't think it was that. No.
I think this is going really well.
Okay, so we rescued Brooke from a bear, and she's back.
Hey.
Hi, Brooke. How was
You guys were
that?
so brave back there. Thank
Yeah,
you.
we had to Little Red Riding Hood her out of there.
I mean, I'm on my period, and it was just it came for me, and
They could smell you.
Right.
you got me back. Thank you.
No problem. It's really weird that, like, I mean, that's from Anchorman, right? Like that whole bears and periods thing. But, like, I saw that when I was so young that I legitimately believed that was a nature fact. I don't know if it is, but, like, I think of that all the time when I think of bears. I'm like, oh, I don't want to go to the woods when I'm on my period. Things get confused.
Are there a lot of bears in Nova Scotia?
I think there's some bears. There's coyotes. There's a fair few coyotes in, like, the more rural. I can't say that word.
Rural.
Yeah, podunk. In the podunk areas of Nova Scotia, there are coyotes.
I like to imagine bears just like ambling down the main streets of Halifax, though.
Well, there are polar bears in Edmonton.
Exactly what I was
Just like eating up all the cartoonists, because there's like 20 of you guys there or something.
There's a lot of
right?
cartoonists in Halifax. Most of them move to Toronto when they get any like sense, but I'm still here.
Okay.
So
All those highbrow cartoonists.
we had a deer crash into a coffee shop last year or the year before.
It just
Dove right headfirst
It
through
just
a glass
dove
window.
Never-ending excitement in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Except for when it ends for like 8 months a year because everything shuts down.
That's true.
Once tourist season is over, we just go back to our hibernation caves, and which is like our houses with the internet. So, you know. You guys know
you
what
guys
that's
are
like.
all bears. You're actually bears.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
gay bears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, not like the animal.
Well,
but
some
like
of us are the animal.
the beast.
right. Intersectionality, Brooke.
Intersection. It's important. Representation. Yeah.
Tell your stories.
I don't really. Okay, so I remember where I was going.
Oh, you were asking me if I saw an ad about
I
a
did,
berry
but
that I
even-
The
had.
first moon party ad.
Yeah.
Even before that,
Oh,
going
God.
off of Grace's point, which was an actual point.
It was so long ago.
Do you remember?
No.
I remember when we were young. No, you were talking about intersectionality and bringing more people into comics, and the point I was going to make.
Oh, so long ago.
I know. I'm bringing it back. I'm doing the callback. That since, I mean, Boom and Kaboom really sort of blew up when Shannon started drawing from indie comics creators and web comics creators and pulling them into doing, mainstream all ages comics with Adventure Time and a regular show and Bravest Warriors if you're into that. I think that carries over into Boombox because it's a lot of the same creators. So I feel like it's really great because you have this immensely diverse pool of people you can draw from because you have the whole internet, basically. Yeah. So I think that's really promising. I think you don't have like the small, a small talent pool that you're limited to. So that's really cool.
Oh yeah, I mean this is great. We're going in a great direction right now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
talent wise.
Yeah. Do you have any people that you're like that are doing covers you're really excited about?
What do you think, Brooke?
I was gonna say Carrie, but I don't really know how to say her last name.
It doesn't start with a P?
Yeah.
P-H?
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
We're the worst.
Yeah.
Well,
I just feel like
she
terrible.
has one of those names that I always read, but I've never had to say out loud.
Carrie Precious.
This is how I feel about
Carrie P. My good friend Carrie P. I'm super excited about her cover. It's awesome.
This is how I feel when I try and say Paulina's last name.
Oh,
yeah.
Ganu Show.
See?
She's in
Oh, that's a made-up name.
Ganu Show. I know. I didn't know how to say it for the longest time, but like
She's
she's just
incredible.
in my phone as Gokuchu,
I know.
Gokuchu. Okay.
which is made up.
You have Brooke Allen and Grace Ellis. You guys are really easy.
Right?
Yeah.
Everyone in Lumberjanes has a very easy to pronounce name. That's
Thank
nice.
goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just trying to be considerate.
Mm-hmm.
I still get
Kate
Kate Leaf all the time.
Yeah.
Kate Leaf. Or Kate Ordy, which is great.
Oh, that's
Oh.
Kate or dies. Kate Ordy. Happens a lot. It's very annoying. So the one thing that I want to definitely ask you guys, what stuff are you guys reading? Like, what comics are you reading right now?
She-Hulk, The Wicked and the Divine. I just picked up Miss Marvel 2, which I haven't read, but I've got, I think,
It's really
4
good.
issues.
We should have a book club, bro.
Oh, we should.
Can I be in it? I've read all 5 issues though.
No.
Oh, well.
Sorry.
Yes, of course. What else?
Yeah, Wicked and the Vine is. Did you like it? I really liked it.
Oh, I loved it. Lucy's so cool, huh?
Yeah.
I love her hair.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see you being really into Lucy. Not that I'm like stereotyping you, but I'm kind of stereotyping you a little bit.
Well, you know. And
She does now.
Ghost Rider, Tradmore's Ghost Rider, of course.
Oh man, it's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good. I haven't talked about that yet or like mentioned it at all. It's so weird. I do these rapid fire like, here's everything I'm reading, and I name 20 titles, and it's like half the stuff I'm picking up. But yeah, the Ghost Rider's amazing.
Yeah, and then Ada and Alex. I don't know if you guys.
I've seen it, but I haven't picked it up.
It's so good. It's like, this guy gets this android robot from his grandma because she's like, you're lonely and like you need to get a girl. Here, I got one for you. And he's like, that's really weird. But then he's like, I mean, I don't want to spoil anything for you, but he has like this robot first issue.
All right.
But it's good.
Anything in comics that you're looking forward to? Nothing. You hate comics.
They're the worst. Steven Universe, I'm excited about that.
Oh man, I can't believe that starts so soon.
I know. Coleman was just
really
here.
Oh
Inking
yeah,
Steven Universe pages.
that's so cool.
So that's fresh in my mind. What else?
That's gonna be really great. I'm so excited about the covers and stuff that I've seen for that.
Yeah, it's so good.
Grace, you reading anything other than Miss Marvel?
I've been reading Black Widow, this new Black Widow run, which I really like a lot. I think the artists, oh my god, I have such a boner for the art in Black Widow.
Yeah.
I've been reading Sex Criminals, obviously, because I'm not an idiot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't think I would have picked it up if you hadn't been so adamant about it.
Did you hear that a couple got engaged at the Sex Criminals at HeroesCon?
Really?
There's a Sex Criminals panel, and Chip told me about it on the plane down, that this couple, the guy wanted to propose to the girl, so they cosplayed as John and Susie, main characters, and they had everybody, and this is like, in cahoots with Matt Fraction and Chip Zdarsky. I really like the way I just said cahoots. And so they got everybody in the room to freeze, to pretend that they were in the quiet, and they kind of ran around, and then the guy proposed. And when she said yes, which is a terrifying moment, right? She said yes, and then Fraction hit the speaker and it started playing Fat Bottom Girls, like super loud. Yeah.
Oh my
It's
god.
crazy. Like comics.
That's amazing.
What an amazing world.
That
Wow.
is amazing.
Imagine being like, how did you guys get engaged when your kids are like 16?
Oh my god.
At a Sex Criminals panel when we pretended we just had orgasms and we're freezing time. So great.
Normal.
So you're liking Sex Criminals. What else are you reading?
Yeah. I've been keeping up with Midas Flesh, which I know I'm supposed to be keeping up with because it's the other Boombox book, but I really do like it a lot.
Yeah, it's really great.
Yeah. I think those are the main books I've been reading.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I just like to know. I like to know what everybody's into. And like Ada and Alex, I haven't checked that out yet, but I've had people recommend it to me.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
All right, so gonna kind of get towards wrapping it up. Which issue are you drawing right now, Brooke?
I'm on 5 right now.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, we're only writing 6. We're not like ages ahead of you.
I know. What happens if I beat you? What happens if
Then
I finish before y'all finish 6?
Then we get in trouble.
I want like a prize though.
Okay. What kind of prize do you want? Are we gonna let's make this?
Well, I
public
told
bet.
Whitney. I told Whitney that I want my name 4 times on the book.
Just Alan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair. No, I think that's totally fair. I think we should have an Alan variant.
That'd be
if
great.
you beat us.
Oh well, I was the A cover, but variant is fine.
It'll be the A cover because it'll be the Alan cover. It's like A for Alan.
A plus.
A plus. The A plus cover.
Yeah. Whitney, she puts up with so much.
She does.
She just quit me. She quit
What?
Bravest Warriors. She's not my editor anymore. But we got Cameron Chittick and Rebecca Taylor, so I'm pretty stoked.
Well, they're great.
Yeah, they're the best. So I'm stoked. Yeah, I feel like she's probably got her hands full with you guys.
That's pretty
Lumberjane
true.
it up. So you, Grace, you're going to be at San Diego. Do you guys have anything else planned for the summer that you're doing, or places you're going to be that you're excited about? Or that you're not excited about? Like I'm going grocery shopping works as well.
Oh yeah. Well, I work at Trader Joe's sometimes, so.
Yeah, you do the signs and stuff there. They look awesome.
Hey, thanks.
I see them.
Yeah, that's it.
On Instagram. They're really good.
They're really good.
Y'all
You should be proud.
Stop. I'm so red right now. Stop it.
Luckily, it's a podcast. No
Yeah.
need to tell.
I would have never known.
So you're not doing any other shows this summer that you know of?
Not that I know of. I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't know.
That's cool, Grace.
Yeah. They Boom purposely didn't schedule anything past San Diego, just because I don't know why. They just were like, we're not scheduling anything past San Diego. So
Okay.
that's as far ahead as I know.
Now, I know a lot of people already know the answer to this because you have formally answered it, but do it enthusiastically for me, please. Is Lumberjanes an ongoing series?
Yes.
No, it's been canceled.
Brooke!
It's over. This is
Brooke,
the
you
end.
just made a child cry. I don't know why the child is listening to an explicit podcast, but you made her cry.
I think we've been
it's
keeping
ongoing.
it pretty clean. I don't think this has to be explicit. Do you want us to swear a whole bunch?
Ian swore a lot. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
See? Thank you. We earned our badge. Oh, I didn't even mean to do that.
Oh, gross. Oh, get out of here.
And with that, all right, guys, I'm going to let you get back to your real lives. But thank you for being on this show. And everyone should go read Lumberjanes because 3 issues are out so far. When is the next one? Do you know?
Hold on. I do know.
Yeah.
It's
July, I'm assuming.
July 9th.
July. Oh, that's really soon.
Yeah.
That's really
Issue
soon.
4. It gets really real in issue 4.
It does.
So
Are
gird your loins.
Are any ladies going to smooch?
Gird your loins.
Is there
Yeah.
smooching? Is there smooching in issue 4? Can I ask
No.
that?
I don't know.
No, there isn't. There isn't.
There isn't?
No, sorry.
Okay. No problem. Okay, all right, well, you guys... Sorry, someone in the studio's asking me something. So I'm going to let you guys go. But yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah,
having
of
us,
course,
Kate.
anytime.
Thanks for being cuties.
Oh,
You're a cutie.
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. I take it. I accept it. All right, have a good night, guys.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, that is it for episode 2. We'll be back in about 2 weeks with a new one. And in the meantime, why don't you just rate and review us on iTunes? It's exciting to be able to say that. Our theme song has been a big hit, which is really exciting because I love electropop songs about me. It'll be available on iTunes very soon, as well as on villagesoundcast.com. You can follow us at LTLcast on Twitter. We also have a Tumblr, which is Less Than Livecast, although there's nothing on it yet. There will be. Encourage us. Send us messages. We will see you next time on Less Than Live.
Running and come with me to past. The future won't last by long. Stories just getting told, about to unfold my love. Run away to the light. Run away to that truth. Running and free. Run away. Starting now. Gonna see that truth. Running and free.
Hey, Amnesia Forgetful Face. This was a Village Soundcast Network original production.
Today's episode is about tabbies. I love tabbies. They're such a friendly breed. Personally, I have a tortoise shell. Now, I don't know if you know, but that's almost a calico. It's just a little less decisive. Kate Lith talks about cats.